Welcome to our final My Jong Law Horn Pai program for 2025. We'll be off for a couple weeks and back at it again after the new year. We have been focusing in on sections 1, 2, 3. Coming up to the new year, that means starting in January, we're going to start to put together a little bit of bits and pieces of number 4. So I'm going to introduce you to a couple things today so you can get brushed up on them. So when you come back after the break, you just got it. It's right there. Okay, let's get ourselves warmed up a little bit here. We can let the head rise and fall. And looking from side to side. And ear from shoulder to shoulder. And a couple of circles in the front. Loosen up the shoulders, we'll go backwards. And we'll go forwards. Arms going to circle one way. And the other. Going to reach and hang to one side. And reach and hang to the other. Let those arms go nice and loose. Wrap around the body. This is where we've been working on just getting some fluidity to let those arms go loose and to let that power structure from the legs and the waist go through the trunk and exit into these nice loose arms. We'll do some downwards diagonals. We'll do some rising diagonals. We'll do some downwards verticals. We'll do some rising verticals. Good. We'll go one arm forward and the other arm backwards. Other arm forward and the other arm backwards. Good. And we can shake it out though. Okay, hips can roll one way. And hips can roll the other. One more time the first way. And the second. Legs from the inside to the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Outside to the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to your shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try some crossovers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's shake it out a little bit. And let's lunge into one leg. And lunge into the other. Two feet face forward, and we'll lunge into one leg. And over to the other. Back to the first side, we'll raise the toe. And to the second side, we'll raise the toe. Then walk your hands over to one leg and stretch. And then walk your hands over to the other side. Hands on the floor. Walk your feet in. And then roll to come back up. Okay, about 45 seconds a minute. Let's work on that fluidity in the hip, working the hamstring and quad as an active stretch. So we're going to go lift and draw. Just a couple more. Good. And we can shake it out a little. Okay. Loosened, warmed, worked out. Let's get to our foundations. This is the place to really dial in a lot of our thrust and rotation, open and close principles. So we're grasping, we're twisting, we're punching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slip under, Wei Lung Bai Mei. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, and come on up. Coordinating the punch kick combo that we've been working on. So we're reaching out with the back arm, we're grasping, we're twisting the trunk and kicking and punching. Then we're stepping back, we're punching again. Grab, kick, punch, punch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll change sides. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Quick break on the legs. And let's go to the second variation that we're doing on this one. And this is with the stomping kick and the side palm. So I'm going grab. I'm going to bring this hand up towards the chest. And then I'm going to pull and stomp and punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. Grab, press, stomp, grab, punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, nothing like my Jong. One hand open, one hand closed. Change those hands over and over again. Okay, let's work on that quick exchange from the lateral to the narrow forward, back to the lateral again. And we were doing it with a punch exercise before from a straight punch. But then we said, oh, when we get into later parts of the set, we're going to be using that hook punch, straight punch. But instead of staying in the horse rider stance, pardon me, we're going to be twisting in the hips. So we're going to go twist to hook, roll back to punch. Twist to hook, draw down, punch out. So it goes out and then it pulls and chops. We want that chopping motion. We want this to be one of those things we don't have to think about. We bring the arm in, boom, we're chopping with the edge of the hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do one more set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, 10. Good. Come on up from there. Oh, so many things to get that body moving with. And that's what these great calisthenics from Long Fist help us with. So many things to integrate, rotations and relaxation and letting power come from the center out to the limbs. Let's look at something that's going to show up in the set shortly. So I'm going to turn sideways, and this is going to be another one of those ones for now that we're going to work it from the sort of stationary lateral position, because one of the things that these calisthenics really want to help us with is getting good core strength, but also mobility. So mobility, as we've been talking about, is that combination of strength, core strength, and flexibility. So I want to be able to leave my legs where they are and try to rotate my core from side to side. And I want to feel like it's creating potential, right? Those turns, they've got lots of potential in them because we're rooted, because we're using that strength in the legs. Yeah, we'll adapt it and we'll take it to upright and shift and move a lot, but we've got to get those core separations and core connections to the ground. So, long story short here, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go pull in. So we're going to bring this hand up and we're going to curve it in. This is one of the easiest grip release techniques you can do. So when someone's pummel grappling, they're trying to get hold and control your forearms, we're going to curve, drop the elbow, and tuck in. We're going to pull in. We're going to break that grip by kind of tucking in and pulling in. Not the only thing it does, but that's one of the things to think about. So we pull in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the trunk so we can get the back of the hand at our elbow. And we're going to go like this. We're going to draw back. So there's a ton of waist work here because we're going to try to get that elbow to tuck in. So we're going to have to engage through the shoulder blade area to pull that in. Then we're going to press the palm out and we're going to punch. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, this is to augment the grip release. We can clear that hand with the back of our arm and hand. 1, 2. Here, this is always these sort of thumb and armpit areas are just jaw protection as much as anything else. So we make it very classical looking by putting the thumb in the armpit, but really that's a position where I could be covering my jaw. 1, 2, cover, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's try it with the other arm forward. 1, 2, 3. I'm not breaking down my legs. This is all about working that trunk mobility. 1, 2, 3. Couple more. 1, 2, 3. Pull in, clear, punch. This could also just be covering your body. Cover. Back of hand parry, punch. There's lots of shifting that can be in here. 1, 2, 3. And when you get to 3, try to train your body to sit and settle. So 1, 2, wind up and settle, drop your mass. 1, 2, drop that mass. 1, 2, drop that mass in. Okay, that's going to show up. And it's going to show up with some really tricky footwork because we're going to end up stepping into a hook stance to do that. So we're going to be shifting from side to side in number 4 and working a hook stance as well, but we'll tie that in January. Let's spend the majority of the rest of the class working on our 1 to 3. So let's start out nice and slow today. So I'm facing 90 degrees to the direction I'm going to be traveling. Tam Tuey is very linear in its exercise patterns. Straight out, straight back, straight out, straight back for the most part. So our first one, we do back of hand, palm, and this is where we're working on that vertical fist jab. Boom. Then we're tucking the shoulder blade to strengthen that. And then we're squatting and we're thrusting from the right leg as we step out with the left. Okay, we talked about that shifting into stance. So I'm going to shuffle slightly forward by pushing out of my back leg. But as I do so, I'm turning my front foot in to facilitate that elbow coming across. I'm driving down, and now we get a little bit of a slide out so we can come through the center. So in the middle, both arms are down, and then we were talking about that closed side waist. I turn the trunk, I raise the arms. I maintain that as I drop, back fist, settle. Now I bring that back leg through. You can feel there's a lot of wind up here that helps to snap that low shin kick, knee kick out. Now I want a quick settle. And again, I'm going to engage that shoulder blade. So I've got my lunging punch. I shuffle an elbow. I smash down. I pivot through the center and close side waist. Drop and circle, back fist, settle, kick low, lunge, punch. So we're back to our left leg forward. So we shuffle in. We talked about getting in behind somebody's legs and throwing. We've got elbows in there. This is another one of the major grip releases. We come across your body when somebody grabs and you drive your elbow into that space. Then we smash down. Now nice and loose. Let these arms feel like they could just swing into place. We talked about how this could be drawing somebody's arm across and hyperextending the elbow. This could be a way to throw uppercuts, but a lot of the calisthenic base is being able to root, turn the trunk, and feel free in the arms. Back fist, settle, kick, punch. Now, foot is facing forward, and we got to get to the lateral again. So when we shuffle in, we turn the foot in as we go palm and punch. Okay, section number 2. Here we slide out on the lateral and we start to draw and coil through the waist. We're going to pull down and we're going to drive out that punch. Now we're going to slip under. So here's deflections, slip through, and big, solid, straight punch off that back leg. Then we do a quick back fist. And now we get that kick punch combo we warmed up with. So kick and punch. Here, again, now we're going to shuffle into that. We're going to hook into that lateral again, but we're going to rest this left arm. So as we step in, we're letting this cycle through and then around for the punch. We're tucking that shoulder blade in. We're dropping down. We're punching out. We're slipping under, deflecting, straight punch. Back fist, kick and punch. So again, we've got to get to the lateral. So we shuffle in, we circuit this arm around for our hook, our pull down and stretch through. We slip and deflect, and now drive from that back leg. Punch. Back fist, kick and punch. Step in, come around, pull down, punch, slip, punch, back fist, kick, punch. Good. Hook down, punch. I think I did one too many. Pull through, punch, back fist, kick, punch, hook around, pull down, punch. This is where we should have stopped. Shuffle in, palm, punch. Okay. Number 3 starts out the same as number 1. So here's that nice isolation of the shoulder blade. Tuck, 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 tuck it in, tuck it in, tuck it in, without getting rid of this upper arm. So we're doing a lot of opening of the chest and strengthening of the back. We're loading into our right leg, and then we're driving that out. So this is where we get a 180-degree turn. We're going to bring that left arm over the head to do our overhand as we twist. Then we're going to settle an uppercut. We then drop that hand, and we were talking last week about some of the coiling wind up in here, where you wind that left hand across, and then you think of it like a whip. We turn, we push out of the back leg, we whip this back fist through, and we come in with the hammer. And again, we've got this closed side waist strengthening core exercise. Back fist, and this is just like number 1, kick, punch. So we come over, we get that weight in our right leg. We exaggerate, we dig in, we shift the left, and we push. And remember we said this could be a throw. We're taking somebody right over and down, or this could be our overhand work, and then our uppercut work. 1 and 2. So I'm pushing, I'm loading myself into my front leg, and I'm learning how to throw that lead arm uppercut by pressing out of my left leg. Boom. I stay in that left leg and I coil, because I'm going to whip this. Slow whip. It's like slow-mo here. Boom. As the weight transfers, the waist continues to roll. We get that nice calf stretch, the heels in the ground. We've opened up the whole body. Back fist, settle, kick, and lunge. Okay, come over. Press down, smash up, settle, wind up, come across, back fist, hammer fist, back fist, settle, kick, punch. It's the end of that pass. We've got to get lateral, but we want to take space. So we shuffle to the lateral, we bring up that back foot, punch out. And learning how to bring up that foot, remember that's what can lead us into being able to step into those punches, but in the set we don't. We come up and we punch out. Okay, that's our first 3, kind of slow and moving. So let's go through that again, and let's just go for a little bit of flow to it rather than pausing. So we don't have to pick up a ton of pace. We just don't want to have places where things stop. So we're going 1, 2, 3, draw, punch, shuffle, down, slip, rise, big circle, back fist, settle, kick, load up, punch, in, down, up, back fist, settle, kick, punch, in, down, through to that closed side, back fist, settle, kick, punch, shuffle, in, palm, punch, settle into horse riders, pull through, hook, punch, straight punch, slip under, deflect and punch, back fist, kick and punch, settle, hook, punch, pull down, punch, slip through, punch, back fist, kick, punch, hook, punch, straight punch, slip under, back punch, back fist, kick, punch, last one, hook, punch, straight punch, shuffle, in, palm punch, pull through that shoulder blade, lunge, over the head, 1, 2, back, 3 and 4, back fist, settle, kick, lunge punch, over, 1, 2, back, 3, 4, back fist, kick, punch, overhead, uppercut, back fist, hammer fist, back fist, kick, punch, shuffle up, palm punch. So, range of motion, mobility, strength, speed, and aerobics. That's another thing that we can use our sets for. Good, solid, biomechanical exercises to help us coordinate, unify, but also challenge the cardiovascular system and learn how to pick up speed. So let's do it one more time. We'll go to, my Jung is not like 100 miles an hour like some of the Southern Choi sets, but it is fairly quick. But it's also about being loose and adaptable. My Jung is always about adapting to the next piece without holding on to what you just threw. If it doesn't work, you just keep on going. So let's pick up the pace just a little. And we'll go to sort of like an average pace for the Tam Tuey set. So 1, 2, 3, pull, punch, shuffle, in, down, and up. Back fist, kick, punch, 1, 2, 3, back fist, kick, punch, 1, 3, back fist, kick, punch, step up, palm punch, hook punch, straight punch, slip punch, back fist, kick punch, hook punch, straight punch, slip punch, back fist, kick punch, hook punch, straight punch, slip punch, back fist, kick punch, hook punch, straight punch, shuffle up, palm punch, lunge punch, over, uppercut, back fist, hammer fist, back fist, kick, punch, over, up, back fist, hammer fist, back fist, kick, punch, over, up, back through, back fist, kick, shuffle up, palm punch. And only 9 more sections to go, which is where the aerobic capacity really starts to get challenged, because it's going to take you into that anaerobic threshold, passing into aerobic work somewhere around the middle of the set, 2 minutes or so in. You're going to have to switch systems and keep working as you switch systems, which is good for self-defense. As the tension builds and the heart rate's rushing, we still learn how to stay loose and connected. All right, thanks so much for joining in over 2025 with some of our My Jong Law Horn. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, and we'll start looking at Section 4. A lot going on in that one, so we're going to take some time to break it down. Talk to y'all soon.